What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. What we're going to be cooking today is a recipe that is so good that I only break it out like once a year. We're going to be making some bacon wrapped grilled cheese sandwiches. We're going to be doing it on our Blackstone Griddle, and we're going to be using kind of an Italian theme with this. Come on in, take a look what we're working with. This bacon wrapped grilled cheese, you can get as simple or as extravagant as you'd like. You could basically just throw some cheese in between two pieces of bread, wrap it in bacon, grill it off, and you're good to go. I'm going to be going with kind of an Italian theme on this, so we're going to be using some fresh basil, mozzarella cheese, bacon, and then I have some artesian bread. Now, I did this recipe in a video a while back, and I used some onions, some basil, tomatoes, and a little bit more complicated, but with something like this, I really think as simple as you could be, the better. Anyway, these are our ingredients. I'm going to let this bacon come to room temperature. And the reason you want it to come to room temperature is you want the bacon to be somewhat pliable, so you can kind of stretch a little bit if you need to around this bread. So when this comes to room temperature, we will get on to the next step and get cooking. Now that we have this bread toasted up a little bit, we're going to start building this sandwich. Now, part of the reason I toasted this was a moist bread is going to allow some of that, well, a lot more of this bacon grease to soak into the bread. So that toasting is going to kind of keep that from happening. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and hit this with our cheese. And this is going to be a very cheesy sandwich. We need a lot of cheese to cut that bacon fat that's going to be in here. So we got our cheese, we got our basil. Gonna hit it again with some more cheese. Get our top on. Now we are going to, it might be easier if I rotate this a little bit. And we are going to start wrapping this sandwich. So we have the one side done. I'm going to go ahead and lay some more bacon out. We're going to rotate the sandwich and get the other side. Now that we have our other strips laid out, we're going to place this right on top again. And we're going to come back the other direction. Alright, now that we have this fully wrapped in bacon, let's get out to the Blackstone and get this grilled up. First of all, I'd like to apologize for all this noise in the background, so hopefully you can hear me. Now, one of the good things about doing this on a flat top griddle is that unlike the last video I did a few years ago, I did it in a skillet, and sometimes that bacon grease will have an opportunity to kind of pool and soak back into your bread. This should allow us to not have that same issue. So let's go ahead and get our grilled cheese sandwiches on. And we're going to cook these on this side until they become crisp. And then we're going to flip them over, and then we're going to get the edges as well. We're going to flip this a couple times during the cook. But I want to do my first flip once the bottom side develops a little bit of a crust to it, which should be about now. Now keep in mind, we're going to sear these sides again, but we're going to go ahead and get these edges now. So we're just going to get it up on its side. And don't worry about any of this bacon that's not folded all the way over. We're going to get to that here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and get this other side right quick. And we're going to go ahead and do all 4 sides. So we got all these sides crisp. I'm going to go ahead and take these off. They're going to continue to cook here for just a little bit. I'm going to take them inside, let it cool off a little bit, and we'll cut into it and see what we're working with. So let's get into this and see what we think. Now, from an aesthetic standpoint, I did this probably 3 years ago, and I added some red peppers, onions, and the basil. I think that aesthetically it looked a little bit better from the inside just because there was some of that red pepper coming through, but let's just go ahead and see what we think. Here's my thoughts after doing this 2 times. I think I would go with the more vegetable version like I did in the previous one. Like I said, iCard above, take a look at that video. You know, had some onions, red peppers, basil, mozzarella cheese, but I did not toast the bread in that one. And that's one thing that I've learned over the course of doing 3 of these, that is definitely a good route to go. So this bread is a little bit crisper on the inside than it was on the other one. So anyway, if you do this recipe, you know what, take that advice. You can't go wrong on it either way. That being said, I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Try this out. Comment, subscribe. I'm out.